Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. God has given us unlimited treasures in His Word. Every time we open it, we can discover a new treasure or admire an old one. What will we find today? Here's Carla Early with Treasure Hunt in the Word.
Isn't it interesting where your mind wanders when you're in the shower and have no other distractions? One morning I got to thinking about my soap and Romans 12:2, which says, "Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is good and acceptable and perfect will of God." You know how you get a new bar of soap and it seems large and awkward for the first few days until it kind of molds to your hand? Well, that's what this verse tells us not to do. We shouldn't easily fit into the world around us. Instead, we should become suds that God can use to clean the world. Let's look at a few key words in this verse. Do not be conformed to this world. Of course, the pressure to conform to the world, to fit in, to not stand out, is enormous. From elementary school on up, the world tells us it's not okay to be different. But the Bible tells us as Christians, we are supposed to be different, very different. We should live in the world, but not be of the world. Jesus said his followers were not of the world, just as he was not of the world. In fact, when he saves us, he has to deprogram us from thinking and acting like the world, which is part of the process of sanctification. Instead of allowing ourselves to be conformed to the mold of this world, this verse says to be transformed by the renewing of our mind. The Greek word we translate transform is where we get the word metamorphosis, which is what we use when a caterpillar becomes a butterfly. It's stronger than just change. It means to change into another form. And how do we do that? By renewing our mind. Renewal, a complete change for the better. Yes, it's all in our mind, because when our heart and mind change, our actions and speech will too. I like how the New Living Translation says it. Do not copy the behavior of the customs of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Then you will learn to know God's will for you, which is good and pleasing and perfect. Changing our thought patterns to match God's changes every part of our lives. So we should reject the mold the world wants us in. Allowing God to change our mind into His patterns of thinking helps us know His will, His way of thinking. That changes our worldview completely. We can become suds to the world as we spend time in His Word and fellowship with Him, becoming more like Him. How can you be more like suds and less like a piece of soap conformed to the hand of the world?
You can contact us at treasurehuntintheword@gmail.com. We'd love to hear the treasures God has given you through His Word. You can listen to other episodes on our website, which you can find in the description below. Thank you for listening, and remember, where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.